Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, and I'm playing my Warden in West Gondor. But we are also going to be doing an epic battle with my kinship, as I don't know if that'll be the first thing. I think we're starting it up pretty soon. But it is something this character needs, one of the new, or at least new for this server, the North Legendary server. One of the new Gondor epic battles, I think it is Hammer of the Underworld. So I think that'll be interesting to check out because I like the Gondor epic battles a little bit more than the Rohan ones, and a little bit more, as in a lot more actually so far, so I think that'll be more exciting than when we did the Rohan epic battles on my Runekeeper. And this character, as far as quests go, I was in the second zone, I think near Calembel, but for the gameplay for yesterday's video I had to do some traveling on this character just to get a little bit of, I wanted something a little bit relevant, and the closest thing I could get was actually West Gondor, sort of near Dol Amroth. But anyway, I think I will be joining my kin in Discord probably, because we usually use that. So for anybody unfamiliar how that works, whenever I stream with my kinship or play with anybody, I have the Discord audio muted for you all, but I can hear it. And then you all keep hearing the Endgame audio, which, by the way, nobody has told me of any issues with the Endgame audio, but I did change the settings a little bit from what they used to be, and now I can actually play music. That seemed the issue with not being able to play in-game music with LOTRO and have it on YouTube. That issue seems to have been solved, so that is a new bonus, I suppose. So I think we still need 2 more people. We have 1 more person in the kin coming. We might have to do a little searching, but in the meantime I can actually get back on track, basically back to where I left off in Calembel. And one of the things I did briefly want to talk about today before I forget is the patch that a lot of people have been really upset about, the beta at least for update 28.3. And there have been some minor improvements. And I say minor because I think there are still some issues that need addressing before the full update goes live, because it's still like a negative update for the players. It's a downgrade type update. But there have been definitely improvements from what it was. I think the big thing is reputation. The small reputation acceleration tomes, those will not have the level cap of 100, and then the scrolls of empowerment are still going to be tier locked, but they're going to be made where you can actually use them. At least some of them you can actually use them. One of them, the Dol Amroth scrolls, will actually still be completely useless on the regular servers.
Gondor needs your aid.
So yeah, some improvements, but I think further steps needed, and I think that will be my next video tomorrow, talking about that. And I actually had the part 2, so if anybody was familiar with the first video I made yesterday, I labeled it part 1, and I actually had a part 2 recorded and mostly edited, so I will actually use some snippets of that still when I go back to doing that. But yeah, that is what is going on, I think. And I need to check some settings with Discord real quick, make sure everything is actually set how it's supposed to be. Hello. Okay, I think everything is working. It always takes me a minute to get set up with the audio whenever we do something new, but I think right now I can talk to some refugees and get some quest progress in the meantime in the town of Calembel. So I did a lot of questing last time, a surprisingly large amount, so I don't know how much of the zone I have left. I was kind of roughly estimating that I had maybe half the zone left, but I do not know. Oh, I thought this might have been a bounty board, but it is not. And there is one thing, I realized I was just like going about the questing, not talking for a while, but one thing I also wanted to shout out, or one person I want to shout out, was actually Joby10240. We actually got a new member on my channel when I wasn't streaming, so we're up to 6 total members. And I also introduced 3 levels, so there's actually one that's like really cheap. The lowest you can go is 99 cents a month. But yeah, I got that set up for anybody who wishes to support. The big thing with the membership that I don't want to do is it's almost Patreon-like, and one reason I haven't set up a Patreon or something like that is because I don't want to lock out any of the video type content I do and make it like exclusive to that where somebody has to pay for it. One of the big draws of YouTube is it's free and free to watch, so I don't want to limit that. But I do offer some things like early access to videos, and there's also some other little things, but that's pretty much the main thing as far as I know. Looks like there's a couple bounties. I saw the other board and thought it might have been a bounty, but this was not one. Okay, so for the actual quest, I think I have... Okay, the book quest was down in the southwest with that farmer. I have the bounty is actually in the town. Search the dungeons or question witnesses. That sounds like a little bit of a weird sort of bounty. I would have expected it to be something out in town, or out of town, not in the town. But we'll check what this looks like. So it looks like we are now just waiting for one more player to log in and we can join the epic battle. Oh, I actually didn't. I just like accepted that quest and didn't even pay attention. See if Candor was spotted escaping. Take it there are 3 spots to do that.
How may I help you, friend?
One more guard, and then I think there will be one more in the northwest, it looked like. I'll actually head west. I think that could be a better way to go. Here's Jajax. A lot of people like Jajax. He has an interesting name for sure. I actually have, well, my parents at their house, they have a cat called Jax. This is just Jajax.
Gondor needs your aid.
Looks like there's another bounty. It's a good thing I'm paying attention, or at least seeing those. Those would be kind of annoying if you didn't notice them right away when on questing. I could have missed these bounty quests. Usually there's something that's just like easy to go along with other quests, but not always. But that's actually one thing in Mordor Besieged. I missed some of those, and apparently you need those to be able to do I think the deed to do a certain number of quests. Somebody just got... Oh, that's the reputation items for. I thought they looted like as an actual staff weapon. They looted at level 100 for some reason. But it's a reputation item for... I think, what did it say? Like Lower Lebanon? Men of Lebanon. Central Gondor, that's what that place is called. The one just east of West Gondor. This is a nice time of day. I actually don't know when it is. It is dusk. I noticed the mountains were really pink. The sky's still not too pink. It's still pretty blue, but creates a nice backdrop. One of the things I really like about West Gondor that I definitely underappreciated before was just how nice the landscapes actually are. Looks like there's a warband for the Great Bull. I might as well. even though I just did the ready check. I feel like I might as well try that. He shouldn't be too much of an issue for me. Except I accidentally used it twice. Now I can do Ranger Sounding Challenge. I think these little cows, they can build up a lot of damage. I don't know if it's my character's squishy, which is totally possible, or if they have like just something where they do a lot of damage. But fortunately, I can stay range long enough and kill them before they can kill me, at least it looks like, unless this one does. Okay, I was going to say we did the ready check quite a while ago, but probably somebody still wasn't ready. So this epic battle is Hammer of the Underworld, and I think this is actually, to me, maybe my least favorite of the Gondor ones. I like retaking Pelargir because it's a little bit more offensive in the most of the not skirmishes, but epic battles are defensive and you're just like waiting for things to happen. I think this one, it's either this one or the 3-man one that has like a really slow part that's kind of annoying. And hello, Ivan Stainer. It is good to see you. And you said, am I going to continue questing through Gondor and end up doing more questing than you thought? Oh, so you've also recently enjoyed my scenery videos, and people are split up everywhere. I actually don't know where I'm supposed to go. Maybe he was setting that catapult up. I think I will probably be moving to Vanguard, and Ivan, I will get to your points in one moment. Yeah, I really don't know exactly what they do with the catapults. I don't want to mess something up. But to get to your questions, Ivan, you said you've really enjoyed the scenery videos and the sunset videos, so I'm guessing you're talking about my LOTRO shorts that I was just uploading while I wasn't able to do regular videos. I am glad that you were able to enjoy those. Basically just little highlights of exactly that scenery and LOTRO, which often does include sunsets. And then you asked how I make those videos look so good, and I am not sure. It's just the end game look for me. I kind of feel like whenever I do a playback for a video like that, I also agree that it looks better than Endgame. Like actually playing the game right now, compared to if I watched a video that looked like this, for some reason the video always looks better to me. And it's not only true in LOTRO, it's true in other games as well. Right now I'm having low FPS, probably. Normally I don't hear, but it's probably because I'm using OBS.
We must act against it before the hour is too late. For all his pride, he chose to honor Morgoth, his master of old, who once bore the great hammer.
Do you want me cranking the catapult at all?
Hammer fall then upon all of Middle-earth? It may or it may
Okay.
not. The fate of Minas
Okay, so this one I do not need to crank the catapults, which means I can switch to Vanguard, where I can get a ton of run speed or get a little bit of boost to damage. Probably more useful to get a little boost to my damage right now. Don't really do too much with the kill streaks type stuff, but it just helps a little bit if we get epic foes and to just like keep killing things.
If any among us could answer that for better or worse, I would already be back in one of the
Do not know where to put this. Seems to always be in the way of the Vanguard panel. I only use that for a couple things usually.
Hold out long enough to destroy Grom. Mithrande, will you follow me onto the wall? I fear that without your presence, Our men may soon fall to despair.
Okay, so yeah, we're defending the northern flank of the gate wall.
Darkness.
I really don't know what to do. This is kind of the problem with epic battles when there's just nothing to do and I feel like I'm left running around. But at least I will say with the Gondor ones, in general they seem to keep you busier. This is just one of the slower phases. And I feel like that's a problem with defensive skirmishes and epic battles that they have in common. Is you're really set to their pace rather than how fast you can go. And there's not too much I can actually even do right now, even though I am spec'd into Vanguard. I actually hit that half troll. Usually they die faster by the NPCs than I can hit them. I feel like my best bet as a Warden is to use ranged unerring strike, because with the combination of Shatter Javelin and Barb Javelin, which I think I could actually respec Barb Javelin a little bit. Would actually be worth investigating. I think we have enough of a break here where I could respec real quick. So with this character, I know these traits I want. And then I just put one in there. I don't know if I'm quite high enough level that I'd really want the damage boost when I enter melee. Get one in Shatter Javelins. But it's better than nothing, and I think better than the other options as well. Outgoing damage debuff, don't really want that. That crit defense is not that good. So really I'm stuck with 3 trait points to spend anyway. Could do the induction duration buff. It's a pretty strong buff for anybody that does induct. Like if I was playing in a group with a lot of fire rune keepers or minstrels or just healers in general, that could definitely be useful, but usually I'll only have one healer in your fellowship. And if it's a Bay Warning, they don't do too many inductions. And then outgoing damage, I don't really use offensive strike, gambit line. This one does decrease crit defense, but it's so little that it's not like worth it. Could do mark and diminish target duration. But this is just kind of temporary experimental anyway. And another option is I might be high enough level that I could actually do spear sweeping as well. Actually I want that up to 5. Oh, I don't quite have enough trait points where I'd want to do spear sweeping yet. Okay, so Ivan, I can finally get to your questions, and you said you have one about the market. So the market, yeah, the market works side by side with the endgame store. It's just another option with basically bundles where like there's expansion trove now, so you can get all the expansion packs. All the old expansion packs, at least all the currently old expansion packs for one price. And they have some starter bundles, that type of stuff. Okay, so we have an epic foe. Oh, we gotta go down the wall, and we gotta go to the north gate. Down, so the epic foes we have to kill really quickly. And we pretty much gotta hurry up, run there, and start getting them. I think I'm taking a long time to get there, but I think this one has a little bit of extra time just because he's so far away. Oh, he's fire. So yeah, it looks like my experiment worked unless I got 2 really lucky things in a row. Go ahead and put Never Surrender up, and then I need... I don't know how much it matters, but... Okay, we can go back to melee. The only problem with playing Yellow Line Warden at this level is after kind of the initial burst phases, there's not all that much to do. But we got the epic foe. Hopefully we got a platinum, I'm not sure. We only got a silver. It looks like we're pretty slow. So the LOTRO market likely will not have XP boosts and that type of stuff, Ivan. It's usually just the expansions. Must face the target. And then, oh, I'm not even in range stance. Leo Brown, you asked if it's worth to get the expansion packs if you have the quest packs and instance clusters. If you mean you already have the quests for the expansions and the instance clusters, that's actually all there is, so you don't really need the expansion packs. I think, did we get this? Yeah, we can do the bombs.
The tower burns! Escape to the wall before it collapses!
So I hope that for both of you, that helps answer your questions. So now we are at one of the slow parts for this epic battle. Again, we got the tower and the epic foe, and I think those are the two big things. Really don't have much time to hit anything. While we're doing that, I guess I can look at my promotion points. I'm pretty much only doing epic battles on this character until I get 200 promotion points. I have my Warden and I guess my captain even up next after that. I have my Runekeeper already done, so he's already at 200 and I won't run any more epic battles on him. The only thing is on certain characters, I guess it doesn't really matter what character, because since everything's unbound, so I can just send it to alts, but if you're level 100, when you open like the Minas Tirith boxes and things like that, you can get the symbols of the Elder King for the first stage allies, and I think also it would open up more possibilities for Scrolls of Empowerment and Starlight Crystals, but I'm not 100% sure on that type of stuff. So yeah, basically I am planning on just doing epic battles to get to 200 promotion points, but could run them a little bit more on certain characters, particularly retaking Pellar Gear. That's pretty much the only... It's the fastest one and the most fun one that I'd actually want to repeat. Okay, so Leo Brown, you got the quest packs when there was the code to get them, and you also bought the instance clusters. So you were wondering if you should buy the new expansions, or buy the expansions. And if you only got the instance clusters and not the expansion quest, then you still would need the quests for the expansion. So you could either buy the expansion packs, like the full one, kind of like the LOTRO Trove, or you could get the expansion quest from the LOTRO store for each of those. Because you have the instance clusters, that's kind of, it's really confusing the way it's set up, but basically the expansion packs have two parts. You have the expansion quests and then the instance clusters, and the full expansion pack comes with both of those. So you have the two options to still get the expansion quest now, even though that's probably... Actually, I have no idea how expensive that is. It's probably expensive, I would guess. It probably doesn't even show it in the LOTRO store for me since I have that. Yeah, no items found. Or you could buy like the full expansion pack, and I think you mentioned with the new market you wondered if you should buy the expansions, and that probably, as far as I know, be the cheapest way to get you all the content. And since you use the free LOTRO quest code, and you would have the expansion packs up through Mordor, that would basically cover you with everything but Minas Morgul and War of Three Peaks. Is my heal actually healing for that much? Oh, it actually does. I know it's not like a ton of morale, but just because my heal's critting for 1k, that's like an insane amount compared to what I remembered it doing. In my morale, there's everybody in the group has way more than me, but with my morale, it's a somewhat significant amount even. I was just shocked when I saw the healing when I just used that. I'm actually building up my kill streak. It's kind of hard as a Warden because a lot of your damage is over time and you have to... I don't know that you have to get the killing blow, actually, so I shouldn't even say it's hard because you're a Warden because of that, but I don't have anything actually built up, I think, in my tree for the kill streak trigger, as far as I know. Let's see. Oh, I actually do have kill streak gain chance way ranked up, so never mind on that. Maybe you do need a killing blow. I'm not entirely sure how that works. So we are headed to the southern flank. Guess the only catapult I was thinking, following the other Warden, there might have been a catapult up there, but I think this is the only one. And I'm also not sure we can actually use the catapult, but I will at least watch what he does. Okay, I see he's trying to hit that enemy catapult. And I think that is all you can hit from here. That seemed to take care of them. That was a nice little view of the catapults getting destroyed, at least, even if I didn't contribute. So I'm kind of thinking my schedule for the next couple weeks. That could be good to talk about. I feel like I don't have too many things to talk about while doing the epic battle. That's one thing on my Runekeeper. I always try to have some sort of something just because there's so much downtime, not too much activity going on during these parts. It's almost, oddly enough, the epic battle I think is more fun when I'm just like playing and not streaming, because then I can distract myself or not really have to keep the focus that I do when streaming. But I think, just thinking about my schedule, I'm going to be doing the annual gameplays, hopefully actually get all the stuff, have time to record all the stuff soon. This is actually something that's delaying me from that, but it's okay. And then I did a little bit of the editing process started, which was good today. But I think Saturday I will be going back to Arkenstone and doing Louisden there. I have a friend who is wanting to run the Rise of Isengard instances, and I've done a couple with him already. But it would give me a good opportunity to do that and do a little bit of the War of Three Peaks zone. And hello, Naz, you said, thanks for the stream, it's always a treat. Well, I'm glad you enjoy them, and thanks for that. And then Ivan, you said you're imagining this is a real war, and you see as a warden running around in circles looking confused. That is what I feel like. I feel like the opposite of what a warden should be doing. I feel like we should be actually down there, attacking the enemies. And even with the LOTRO warden, I could be down there at least using like range resounding challenge. It'd just be a lot more useful. Not up here, I feel like. Like, at least on my Runekeeper I can heal barricades and stuff. That's oddly more entertaining to me, healing barricades on a Runekeeper in an epic battle than being a warden. Okay, so we have to defeat Epic Foe. This one we shall get started earlier because I will go ahead and pull him. I will actually use my debuffs, and this time I'll try a little bit better. With my DPS. Last time I didn't feel like I did too good. I don't know how much of a difference it makes since it took us so long to get down there anyway, but this time I feel like not only I did a lot better, but also our group did a lot better. So we got some teal gear. I wonder, it doesn't quite look like it's replacing the weightless earring. I know that's effective until level 105 and gives an XP boost and all that, but I honestly don't care about XP on this character since I'm going to be finishing Western Gondor, and then I'm going to be doing Central Gondor and Eastern Gondor. At least I plan on doing Eastern Gondor. And then I also have Old Anorian, so I have a ton of content to get me level 100. Level 100 is basically just a number for this character at this point. It will be nice to get my imbued ally, especially if our kin starts doing group content and that sort of stuff, but if no one else can, I think I should be able to. Did we already get... Yeah, it looks like we destroyed everything. It could have been... Oh, they were already here, so I was looking for those grappling hooks to destroy. So it sounds like I'm on catapult duty next time, which is okay. I'm somewhat familiar with it. So it sounds like on the next phase of this epic battle we might need to go downstairs for one of the side objectives. So yeah, one of the big differences, I think I mentioned this already, that I like about Gondor so far compared to West Rohan is the zones and questing seems to go by a lot faster. In Rohan, it just like drags on, and each little zone has like, it seems like about 3-4 different camps you go to, and those have a bunch of quests associated with them and all that type of stuff. And Ivan, you asked if I would say that level 100 is like endgame time, or like 95 or 130, and what levels would I say is more endgame time? And you say around 90 to 130 is endgame. So I think it really depends what you consider endgame. And of course the legendary servers are a little bit different because they have a lower level cap. But I think endgame is level 130, like it is the level cap. And late game could be like the 90 to 130. So you have the early game, which I would consider in LOTRO the early game probably before 50, before the first original expansion Moria. And then mid game would probably be 50 to, I'd say mid game could be 50 to 85, maybe 50 to 95 even. And then late game would be roughly 90s to up to the level cap, is what I would consider, at least if you split it into like 3 different groups like that. But also the thing with LOTRO is you can actually start progressing towards endgame. Like endgame in general I think is level cap content, and usually people think of it as like group content like raids and that type of stuff, even though it can be dailies and quests and whatever you really want it to be. That's one of the nice things about LOTRO and MMOs is you can decide what the end game is for you. So for like some people and like me and past times with World of Warcraft, it was farming gold. That's one thing I did, which sometimes involved doing like regular endgame content like group content. And even in LOTRO, if you want to farm gold, doing group content is a decent way. I don't know, I feel like that little thought got way off track there, but back to the being able to start preparing for endgame earlier I think is fairly unique in LOTRO, because you have a lot of long-term character systems. I think Virtue XP, or Virtues with Virtue XP of course, is one of them. You also have your trait points, which you can get. You don't get just from leveling, so just getting to the level cap wouldn't be them. You have to do little side things. They're gated by quests and things like that while leveling. Like West Rohan, one of the annoyances of the zone, even if I don't like the questing there, it's already extra annoying to me because to get your trait points you have to do the quest there. And hello Puerto Rican B. Thank you for joining the stream. I think you mentioned, if I remember correctly, I'm really bad at names and remembering who people are. But I'm pretty sure you joined my Discord, if I remember correctly. Which, by the way, for anybody unfamiliar, I do have a Discord channel that is... I don't know, it's still fairly new and still getting it set up. The main thing I want to do with the Discord, and I've actually started a little bit, is adding custom roles. So like, I have for my channel members on YouTube, a special little chat area there. The only problem is I actually don't know if any of the channel members are on Discord. Or I think there are some ways you can use bots to like auto do members, or even let people type in functions to make them certain types of roles or whatever. It's been nice. We've had a little bit of distractions. I can call you B. That definitely will be easier. But with this, I feel like I've been running back and forth a lot, but haven't paid too much attention to what I'm doing since I've been a little bit distracted in a good way, actually. This is the thing with distractions. It makes me slower with questing. But then with something like this, it actually makes it seem like it goes by faster. Alright, so now we need to go to the middle, defend the gate. Okay, so it looks like I am getting the south catapult. So I should switch to engineer for this. which should be okay. I don't think I need a vanguard anymore. So I think I need to aim this left. Kind of hard to see from here. A little bit hard to get a camera angle, but big thing is aim it left and then I'll use the triple, I think a triple shell type thing. Okay, it already has grape shot loaded actually. Oh, there's the catapult. I was actually didn't even have it right. So yeah, I need to get the catapult first, not these little guys. So I needed to aim it. It was probably already set up where it needed to be. I need to aim it farther right, and then grape shot, and we'll let it one more crank to the right. Oh, they destroyed the catapult. It was a little bit slow, I guess. It looks like their catapults are destroyed, but so is ours. Okay, at least we got their catapult destroyed. I totally messed that up. I was aiming it too far left. Sure, I'll stay and take care of that. Okay, so it sounds like we might get a siege tower. So I'm back on running around duty. Okay, and Ivan, if you're talking about distracting me, that is no problem. So we have on Black Wings defense soldiers. Okay, so I'm going to go down. I believe there's a way down over here. Okay, so Ivan, you said your burglar is level 82. You got him to 67 yesterday. He's on his way to max level soon. It's getting pretty... yeah. So yeah, burglars don't have a lot of high target AoE damage at least. Didn't really get to do all that much AoE damage, but here we have the Fell Beast. Oh. But yeah, with the burglars, they don't have a lot of high target AoE, but they can hit 3 targets. Okay, so your double-edged strike, I don't know, you might be really familiar with the class, but something like double-edged strike, for my burglars at least, does a lot of damage, and if you're in the red line, flashing blades will also hit 3 targets. Using those a lot and AoE can be good. So don't need any of these. I definitely don't want the Lore Master books. I don't even know what that whistle is. It's for a quest, okay. With Jajax. What is this one? Burglars Club. Definitely don't need that. Guardian's Great Hammer. I'd actually oddly want a hammer on my Guardian on... I have a just cosmetic hammer that I like. Oh, it looks like there's a tower to the north that I totally didn't see was up. Not until I opened my map, it wasn't showing on the mini-map. It's a good thing. I guess eventually, it looks like somebody else noticed as well, but eventually, they probably would have found out there is actually one. The thing with Warden here as well, because they're dot based, and I totally messed up, whatever gambit I was trying to use there, it did not go off correctly. Okay, so I got both of those hit with dots, but yeah, just dot everything and then let the dots do their work. The And there's one more powder keg behind me. And hello, Super Drama 441. And yes, I am playing the Yellow Line Warden right now.
The tower burns! Escape to the wall before it collapses!
In general, I find that I prefer the Yellow Line. I think it's a little bit more fun, especially for leveling. And yeah, leveling and it's just fun to me. I'm not quite high enough level on this character to do spear sweeping, which is actually a mechanic. I don't really like spear sweeping with the Yellow Line. I know a lot of people do it at Endgame. But Shattered Javelins, I have a lot of fun with and works pretty well in landscape. And V, you asked, is that an add-on for Warden combos? And if you are perhaps talking about the Vanguard, or if you're just talking about the Gambit default thing here, this is definitely a default thing that I think has been there forever with the Wardens. But there was, since I am in an epic battle, and I was spec'd into Vanguard, if you are talking about this thing, that is for my epic battle tree right there. And that it has to do mainly with kill streaks. Yeah, so Super Drama, the Wardens definitely have really high AoE DPS, and compared to champions, there's definitely benefits more over time. Champions have a lot more upfront. But then in long fights, that's when Wardens can finally shine. Actually, Wardens do have decent AoE bursts if you use Shattered Javelin, just because it chains for each enemy you hit an AoE with that. It'll burst an AoE, so it is, I don't know if that would technically be exponential, but just a lot more for however many enemies there are. That looks like a pretty thematic Gondor type outfit, at least not really Western Gondor where I am. Western Gondor is the nice Gondor, it's all bright and they're like, only issues are really bandits it seems like. The Corsairs. Central Gondor gets a little bit darker. I feel like the main issues or troubles they have are still the Corsairs from what I remember. That might not be entirely correct. I believe so. I'm trying to find the buff to see what it says. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay, so he was asking about the... No, that's fortification. That is the Captain banner. Oh, that's the Captain banner, it's not the Vanguard banner. So somebody in the kin was asking about the Vanguard banner. So you played the Warden when they added it, and the hardest thing was remembering the combos. That was the same for me when I first started with the Warden. Now, I didn't start playing LOTRO until kind of the middle to late end of Mirkwood. Oh, we finished the epic battle. We finished Hammer of the Underworld. Got Gondorian spoils. That is unrelated. Quartermaster's rewards. All those ones I think I can open. Somebody got a blemish symbol, the Elder King. I'm supposed to keep UI hidden there. I feel like whenever this comes up, I just assume it's cinematic and always try to auto skip it. Looks like I got stuck up. Everybody else is down here. You're supposed to be teleported down here when the scene comes. Always annoys me when I see my cursor is like up in the middle of the screen. Especially with something like this. Oh, so B, you stopped playing LOTRO when I started. I would say it's exciting somebody got like a supreme essence of tactical mastery, but the essences for level 100, they just aren't that good. Could be possible somebody would want to use a mastery essence like that, but oh my gear. I don't have any gear and I totally forgot about that. So I just realized that I have been without gear for quite a while now. Yeah, and I remember it unequipping, but I have been questing for a while without it. I don't know why, how I just like remembered and noticed that, but medium. Somebody might be crafting me gear, but I was supposed to go to the skirmish camp. I think I can get some 85 gear at a skirmish camp just for temporary use. Okay, is it level 100 though? Okay, if it's... yeah, I think it would be. If it were level 95 or a level I could use it, I would definitely want that, but... it would just be... yeah, it would just be temporary until I could use it. Or... and then... oh, somebody, B, so you played Alpha and you ended up getting a lifetime VIP and then you started leveling Captain and Runekeeper again last week. Those are two good classics. That sounds good, thank you. So with all this distraction with the gear and all that, I need to, before I forget, I need to work out this gear thing, because that's probably why I've noticed this character was squishy. And that is probably why, even though like my mastery is still 180%, my mitigation has got to be tiny. It's actually not even all too tiny, 35%. So I want to find the milestone. I might already actually have it set where I need Dinadab. I have no idea where Dinadab is. Up there? Okay. Let's clear all and then search milestones, so it's to the west. This is a little bit of a confusing town to navigate for me right now. But Kaisner, sorry it took me so long to get to your message, but you said you recently started LOTRO and my videos helped you learn a lot about the game, and Warden is unlike anything you've played and you love it. I agree with the Warden, it's also unlike anything I've played and I love it. Oh, this is a giant milestone. I thought I had to like navigate around that. Wait, somebody needed Tarling's Crown final quest, it looks like. Capo, I am somewhat in the area if you want me to help. I don't know if I can help. Looks like Tarling's Crown final quest. Okay, so I'm totally lost. I already got Candor's Escape. Okay, so I made my milestone here, so now I will muster in Galtrab. And then I'll go to the skirmish camp, get my level 85 gear, and then we might be doing something in Tarling's Crown to help somebody.
Will you remain here long?
And yeah, that definitely, Super Drama, that definitely shows how OP Wardens are, that I don't need gear. I was like, I thought I was a little bit squishy in this zone, but I thought it might have just been those. It seemed like those cows, the bulls in particular, did a lot of damage, but that's why I thought it might have just been them. I wonder if there's level 95 armor here. Looks like there is. I wonder if this would be better or worse than... Actually, it doesn't look all too bad. It has might on it. It must be some sort of leftover Beorning stuff. But I'm curious how it compares to the Erebor. Really doubt the 90 gear would be better. Something would have had to have gone a little bit wrong for that to be better. But the Erebor gear, don't think I can get the greater yet. Yeah, definitely not. But I could get the regular Erebor. Be a little bit expensive, it looks like, but I think I could manage that if it's really good. Erebor Warden. Actually, I cannot barter for it. It also has a maximum level of 95, so I don't know why I thought that. So we'll just get the level 95. Oh, I'm not in, do I? Or do I? Don't have essences to put in it, so I don't want that either. So I'll get all the purple ones I can get first. Then these are shoulders. Don't really want those shoulders. I'll see if the yellow ones are a little bit better. Put them up here for reference. Okay, don't want the yellow ones. What about the heavy or the might? Nope, don't want those either. Okay, we'll get the bad ones. And then we have, looks like we also have gloves here, so we don't need to look at heavy armor anymore. And then I will get the rest that are yellow. I think chest piece is the other one. I'm actually curious, if I look at the level 90, I saw that had a chest piece. I think this one's a little bit better than the other one they had. Compare the legs. Yeah, the legs are also a little bit worse itemization with the stats. Then the boots, these have crit and finesse, so they might be better than the yellow ones, and they actually are. Okay, so I'll just destroy those. I don't know why I care this much about the gear, but I still feel like, even for temporary, well, it's better than nothing, but just to get my character some armor, and that's a little bit of a weird looking helmet. I actually don't mind the look of the gear too much. Other than the helmet, I'm not a fan of that helmet. Don't know what it looks like dyed, but a little bit interesting. And thank you all for the compliments about the videos. I am glad that they've been helpful. That is one thing I definitely go for with my videos. I hope they're always helpful. Usually in general, I know I do a lot of variety of content, but I always try to be educational with my videos. And kind of when I started my channel, way back when, I was making guides. And even though my content has expanded from that, I've always tried to keep up with that idea. Anyway, now that I have gear, I'm actually curious, my physical mitigation's all the way up to 50%, my morale's up quite a bit, and my physical mastery is down, oddly enough, probably because I'm on the worst steed. Yeah, it's quite a bit up as well. Crit rating, it's definitely up. Finesse is probably up. Okay, so I think we are done with group stuff, as far as I know. Oops, totally had a typo there, but I'll keep it. So quest-wise, this was the plan for the day. The plan was to quest, but then we got a little bit distracted with an epic battle, which wasn't too bad. It was just, for me at least, I thought the Gondor epic battles were more fun than the Rohan ones, and I even thought that today, but It's just, I think, and particularly when streaming, the downtime becomes a little bit extra annoying, to me at least. Mainly because, like, somebody said I was just, like, running around in circles, not knowing what to do. Because I couldn't really do all that much. Oh, I did a yellow line captain build? I actually don't remember that. I think I did a red line.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Yellow line captain, if I haven't done that, is definitely one I probably should do. It's a pretty popular spec, and I think a lot of guides that people make in LOTRO are for Endgame, which is okay. Definitely for people that need that, but I usually try to make more accessible, maybe, guides and more leveling oriented and easy group content oriented. Redline Runekeeper, that's another one that's actually a little bit old, but Redline Runekeeper in general hasn't changed too much. I just always think with my old videos I had like worse audio setup. And my audio setup should be improving soon. I don't think I ever mentioned this, but maybe I did, but I will be upgrading to... this quest is really scary, just because... Okay, I just have to click the chicken. I thought I might have had to do something extra. Just the look of the rings made me think I would have to actually carry them back. This is the weirdest, like, bounty quest. The other one was pretty weird as well, the Kinder's Escape, but it's a bounty called Chicken Thief where I'm actually getting the chickens instead of killing the thief or whatever. Or maybe I spoke too soon. And now I need to... Oh, cooking supplies. Am I cooking the chicken or catching the chicken thief? For some reason that gambit ranged Warden's Triumph, probably because I haven't used it all too much the past, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years I've hardly used that gambit. And now that the yellow line, the bleed from it's guaranteed when you have Shattered Javelins, it's a little bit more useful if you have Shattered Javelins picked. I'm using it more often, but it's just one that I always get stuck in the middle of building, it seems like now. Okay, so we have another quest to the southeast. It looks like it is a bounty quest. Bet I guess it is Chicken Thief, so I'm actually returning. I don't remember picking up a quest there, but maybe I did. We were doing so many things earlier. Really like flowing water in LOTRO. At some point they made an update so standing water just looks like, I don't know, very worse than it used to.
Gondor needs your
But it's kind of hard to describe right now, but it's very like plain looking and it's very blurry. It has a blurry kind of generic backdrop. Of course it doesn't have like ray tracing where the reflection is actually really accurate, but it was just like, it made it look a lot worse than it used to whenever they updated that. And it was a few years ago they updated it, so it's been changed for a while now, but moving water at least still looks pretty good. And Yellow Line Runekeeper, both of those are pretty good with the Runekeeper. Right now, Yellow Line definitely used to be a lot better, but because it was nerfed, it's probably still a little bit better than Red Line. For my Runekeeper, I think overall it is. Okay, so I think we're done with running anything, so I can leave the fellowship there. It is kind of, I'm actually really curious. I feel like I need to pull a bunch of the mobs, like actually see if there's that one guy, the one warband right here. I just want to see if I take a lot more damage than I used to. I know I won't really get much reward from this, but I'll get a little bit of XP and I guess loot probably. But I just want to see if I take a lot less damage, if it's that much noticeable of a difference. Okay, so I should need one more gambit after this and then should be good on the damage. Let's see, just standing still, yeah, definitely taking a lot less damage. I feel like last time if I actually stood there that long, my morale would have dropped way lower. And the only thing, kind of thinking back to the guides a little bit, the trait guides, one of the things I always worry about when I'm doing those videos is how long they are. Because I do go into so much detail with the trait choices, but it seems like people in general like that. I guess because at my point, usually when I would look for something like that, it'd be like just general pointers, which is a type of guide I've been considering trying to look at. Not that I'm haven't been working on guides that much lately, especially as I'm just getting back from my like month break from YouTube and have a lot of things in the works that are all like going slowly. The guides I just haven't gotten to, so I need to do something right here and I actually don't know what. Find and capture Calembel maybe? Yep. Oh, I see a ring on the minimap now. He is down there. Where is he? Oh, there's a little inlet there, maybe? That's all I can think. Usually in LOTRO, there don't seem to be things like that. Unless it's an actual instance thing, so it is an instance, okay.
What do you need?
Actually, I might. Okay. Normally, I'm just like with the Warden in a habit of leaving a mob when they're about to die when they have bleeds, but then sometimes there's stuff I need to actually stay there for, but it didn't look like there was that time. And there's actually a warband up here that I think this character, it's the only one I have left in the zone, so I think I want to get that real quick. And BU asked if I have a list of add-ons I use in Discord or on a video, and I do not, mainly because I do not use that many add-ons. Old Snapper, I think he is an elite as well, it looks like. The only add-on I think I really use is combat analysis, and I don't even use that all that much. I did not mean to use whatever gambit I just used. It actually lost me a lot of damage, and I messed that gambit up. Okay. I'm doing very bad right now, but what I'm going to do is just like totally reset myself here so I can get back on track. And one thing I forgot to do is I actually need to use this gambit, Dark Before Dawn. I still actually have that class deed left to use that, so I'm going to use it a little bit here on him. So one weird thing with my keyboard, when I hit Shift 0 and... Oops, did I just die? I didn't think he was doing that much damage. He did morale damage on me. Okay. That probably would have killed me a lot easier before. And BU said one bag add-on. If you're talking about like the one bag I have as an add-on, that's actually, you can do that with the default. So there's a little cogwheel, the edit mode here, that you can drag, like if you have slots up here in the different bags, you just drag them to the single bag. So that is not with an add-on. And travel window, I think I have heard of that one. I have never used it, but it's probably helpful to have something like that for a warden or like a hunter, anybody. I wonder what his deal is. Can he not cross the water or something? I actually think I already got this bleed on him, but... Oh no, it doesn't look like it. I have no idea what's actually going on with the bleeds. This ambush. Whoa, ambush! I forgot that increased my run speed by 50%. That's actually pretty nice. So I'm curious what Dark Before Dawn, just the melee. Okay, not that strong. Okay, that was a very bad couple of fights with the Warden. Second one was better. I was just testing a little bit with Dark Before Dawn there, but also had a couple mess ups and weird things with Old Snapper going on. So quest-wise, we are doing Recovery of Riches to the north, and I forgot I have to do an Unlikely Plea. I have no idea what that quest actually is. Do we never get around? So I'm gonna defeat this guy. Unlikely Plea, Jajak's Revenge, okay. So Unlikely Plea, where is that? Oh, that's Jajak's Revenge, okay. I wonder if I can do that up here since I am up here. It would be kind of annoying if it were way down there. But yeah, I think, did we get to talking about the add-on I actually use, which is Combat Analysis, and I don't use that too frequently, just usually when I'm testing out a couple things and or comparing my characters. We'll see if we can summon and defeat. It looks like there is a ring here, at least for the quest I'm working on. Jajax's Revenge. Except I do not see a summon and defeat type thing, and I don't see that enemy here. So probably can't do that here. Probably have to go way back to the southwest, but I think for now we can go ahead and do this bounty. Don't mind running a little bit through West Gondor. It's a nice area. Just should hide the UI so we can actually get a little better view. It's a nice view of West Gondor until we actually look at my worsty with the orc head on a pike. That it's not the most visually appealing thing, but I still like having it. So what do we need to do here? We need to defeat a Vault Keeper type guy, Vault Robber actually, recover stolen treasures. Hopefully that just means I can defeat all these, because this is a nice area where I could just like keep pulling things. Oh no, it looks like I actually do need to collect the treasures. Normally those quests I don't really mind doing, it's just in particularly on the Warden. Sometimes I'm just in the mood to run around a whole camp and hitting things with resounding challenge. Oh, and there's Jajax. He's probably going to mess up my combat a little bit. Oh, here I was building my next gambit when the first one didn't even go off. And I left 2 enemies here. Alright, let's see how many resounding, or not resounding challenges, but whatever I just used, Dark Before Dawns I have left. Can't quite finish that today, but I can probably get it to where I can finish the next time I play this character. Oh, can I actually loot the treasures, it looks like? Because I don't think I have actually picked up 9 of these. I might have actually been able to loot the treasures might have been able to drop the whole time. And B, you asked if you can group across servers, and you cannot. And I feel like the servers are so like separated that I'm not sure that would ever be possible. So they do have transfers, but the transfers are partially functional. And you also can't like transfer between EU and NA, even though all the servers, they're all located in Boston. So as much as I would like to see you be able to like group across servers, see people from different servers or something like that, I'm not sure it'd ever actually happen, even though I feel like it's something that would be very beneficial to the game. And that way, if you can see people from other servers, when these servers become a lot less populated, you wouldn't have to go through the mess of merging the servers as they did a few years back, which caused a lot of issues with naming issues and a lot of things. I even think some people lost like some things and could eventually get them back through support. I think people lost like their player houses and some stuff from their shared storages, wardrobes even. At least what I remember from hearing, so that was a mess. And also the whole naming mess, because people would transfer from one server with a name and then somebody on their target server, one of the ones that were lucky enough to stay up, would have the same name, so then you'd have like a -1 after your name. You could rename your character, I think, for free, but you still lose that original name you had. Alright, so got that done, and I think Jajak's going way to the southwest looks like what we need to do next. I guess my goal for today, just as an outlook, it looks like we've been going for about an hour, 18 minutes. I was thinking I could finish at least this zone, because we did the epic battle, which took close to an hour, it seemed like, when it was all said and done. So at least finishing this zone and then maybe leaving the Havens of Belfalas. And I don't know, the Havens of Belfalas, I don't know exactly what the questing will involve, but I could see it being quite busy. I know at least Edhelond, the book quest takes you there, I know, and I have no idea how I even got here. So I was on auto run. I was on auto run from over here, so I was probably going like that way. Anyway, we can actually get back on track and look at the map. I think it's pretty open here. But yeah, the Havens of Belfalas, I think I could do that all in one stream. The only concern is I don't know how much Dol Amroth will be involved with that. It looks like I stopped myself from moving somehow, stopped the auto run. Looks like we are getting to late watches, probably means we'll be getting close to sunrise soon, which will be nice to see, I think. Oh, so you actually got the Peregrine Took for your Hobbit mini, and it took until 1 week into Moria and then your name got reported. Yeah, they have nowadays, a little bit related to that, they have a lot of restrictions on names that block, like, I think completely normal things are blocked by their name filter. I think a lot of people think it's too strict. The main thing that bothers me is I think you can't have 3 vowels in a row or can't have 4 vowels in a row, and a few of my characters, it would be convenient to have names that have 4 vowels in a row. So like if I named a character Luwian as, what's the word I'm looking for, as creative of a name that is, I can't because it'll get caught in the filter, so instead I have to do Luwian. So instead of Louian, I have to do Loueyan. One thing I like about Gondor is it doesn't seem too afraid to like throw elites at you. I know we have the NPC here to help, but help is usually, at least from NPCs, more like help in quotes. Oh, and here we go, some new gear. And it is an upgrade. It should be an upgrade, but it is an upgrade. Those don't always line up in LOTRO. I actually had this I could have equipped the whole time. It would have been better than nothing. Little robe.
Stay.
Okay, so we need to go back to Calembel. Actually, I have to go to Fort Jajax. Am I actually done with the zone already? If I'm done with this zone, I'm actually pretty surprised. The book quest, though. The book quest I still have to do. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, I remember having to harvest these things. So I talked to a farmer. Let's go ahead and defeat. Oh, he's going to actually help me fight? Wonder how well a farmer fights. Oh, he's, I'm supposed to be protecting him, okay. Looked like he was helping me fight, though, at least. But yeah, when I went here on my Runekeeper, I think I've mentioned a few times now that I've done this on my Runekeeper. I did the book quest in West Gondor, but not any of the regular zone quests, because I was just going for the trait points. But there were none of the Corsairs here when I went here on my Runekeeper. I think somebody just went through and like wiped them all out. So I had to wait for them to respawn. I feel like parts of this zone remind me of Wind a little bit. The pink trees, I think they're just like really similar trees in Wind, if I remember correctly. Alright, so I'm supposedly protecting a farmer do their work. Where is he? Oh, he actually is doing his work. Might as well do something useful while waiting for him and kill some Corsairs and a cow. Don't think this character, I'm pretty sure she is she's a forester slash woodworker and a little bit out of date with those things. Okay, so how is this worker doing? Hello, Tropical Sun, and you asked if I do much raiding in LOTRO, and I sometimes do. So, with the current level cap in Endgame, there are a lot of things about Endgame and LOTRO that frustrate me and make me not want to play it. So for some of those reasons, I tend to avoid it a little bit more. Even though actually, with War of Three Peaks, I know a lot of people have different opinions on that, but the actual content, the actual raid itself, I think is fun. One of the issues with it is so short. But there's also the Minas Morgul raid. I haven't even done the Rumor Chant because I didn't get back to going through that until quite a bit after when people run it. Even though I still could run it, it's just something I haven't gotten around to doing. But I do enjoy raiding, but the main people I play with is my kin on Anor, so we're stuck kind of now with the level 100 cap. And back in the day when like there was the Rift in Moria, I would often do that. It was raiding, but it was at the lower level cap, and there were actually more people on the server where we could consistently do that, and we even had more people. We have a decent number in the kin that play now, but we had even more back then, so could like consistently raid. So since that's wound down a little bit, and with the, I think just too many issues a little bit with Endgame and LOTRO, I just don't play as much as I used to. And I think raiding is considered endgame content. Yeah, Filical, that is a fun raid, but it's even shorter than the ones we were just talking about, that are the one Amdan Damol. Which I still have no idea how to actually say that raid besides Amdan. Actually, I forgot the name of it. Amdan Damol? The Bloody Threshold. But yeah, I think group content in general is considered endgame content, so raiding would definitely be included with that. And most people that play like endgame do the group content, but not everybody. Some of them just do like dailies or farm reputation or whatever. Or just like quest in the new zones, which is more questing. I'm not quite sure, I would completely consider that indie game content. But looking forward into the future, I definitely plan to raid at level 105 whenever that comes on. Which would be the Throne of the Dread tier raid. Hopefully we have enough people in the kinship to run it, otherwise we might be pugging it a lot, which doesn't always go bad. I feel like on this server I haven't had any issues with pugs lately. But I know in any game, not just LOTRO, but even LOTRO at level 130, a lot of people do pug, at least on Arkenstone. I think that's where pugs are most common because there's actually, I think that's where the largest in-game player base is, it seems like, but they don't always work out, basically. And Tropical Sun, you asked what is the most challenging in-game content? Is there a sort of hardcore raiding scene in LOTRO? And yes to the second question. The first question would be the raids and instances, the level 130 ones. I would say so there are a few things that make it extra difficult than just the content itself, but all the newer stuff at level 130 has like 5 tiers of difficulty, so usually you have big stat increases between, especially tier 1 and tier 2, there's like a huge stat jump of enemies, so just stat inflation to make things hit harder, and the biggest thing is actually they double in health, so double in health and greatly increase in mitigation, so it just takes a lot longer to kill them, basically, long story short. What is this thing? It's a giant Avonk. Couple bleeds on them, and then I should be good. Actually, he's so close to being dead. And all the AoE ones look dead that I can just do this. See, that's the thing with Warden. It takes me so long to actually get set up to do my AoE burst damage that I'm just like, all my damage over time actually starts to take effect, so then I don't need to do that. And my inventory is full. I think I can destroy a couple things, it looks like. Don't want to destroy anything that's a Warden's, that's the only problem, and it looks like those 3 are Wardens. The scroll cases don't sell for enough for me to actually worry about them. That's the thing with loot and LOTRO, it doesn't really value that well. Most of your gold you do not get from that. Task items eventually do a lot. But Tropical Sun, I hope that helps a little bit, give you an idea of endgame content in LOTRO. We talked about tier 2. And then, even in tier 2, and as you go up to more tiers, there are more mechanics that make the content more challenging. The mechanics that are already there in tier 1s and tier 2 become more difficult, more deadly, basically. So there's all of that type of stuff, but then there's also the optimization of your character, and one of the reasons I don't play endgame in LOTRO is there are a few mechanics that don't really make sense and I don't think should be things, but one is weapon swapping. That's a very big thing at endgame. So basically before you use certain skills, you swap to a weapon in combat. So like if the sword, just as an example, in the middle of combat I would be swapping between my spear and the sword between certain skills. And it's very common with Warden. I wouldn't say very common with Warden. You can, I think, more easily get away without doing it on a Warden than, say, Hunter and Champion. Those two, I definitely know weapon swap a lot.
Gondor needs your aid. These are troublesome.
And Bane Warnings would, but they aren't viable to begin with. That's a whole different topic. Oh, and another thing that I feel like I'm convincing you to not see the raids in LOTRO, but just to give a little bit more context to why I don't play even though I like the content. Because that's the thing, if these things that bother me don't bother someone else, then it's perfectly fine, because I really do like the endgame content. I really like the group content in LOTRO. But the other thing is not all the specs are viable, and some of them aren't even like close. There's just not that great class balance at endgame. So what am I doing? Collecting crates? We're questing right now. And I don't think weapon swapping is a design... Let's see, I was about to totally mess up those words. Design decision? I think it's just an artifact of some old systems, mainly legendary items, weapons, and the way they're built. So basically for some skills, certain weapons are strong. Certain legendary weapon legacies, which are kind of like stats that boost certain things. So like, mine are really a bad example because this character, these are kind of temporary and they aren't the imbued version. But say for something, certain type of skills would do like 50% more damage with your legendary item. And then another skill does like normal damage. And then with another weapon, that skill will do increased damage. So to be optimal, you would swap between the weapons for those. And with Champion, I feel like I'm doing a bad job finding these crates. I still need 5 more. But with Champion, one of the things they do is swap between specifically a two-handed weapon and dual wield. Because certain skills don't scale well with dual wield, so it's better to have the strongest weapon, which is a two-handed weapon. And then other skills do scale with dual wield, but then they scale to be stronger than with two-handed. But yeah, that's I feel like I'm very rambly and about this just because these are the things that bother me, so they're kind of easy to talk about and just go on about. But the content itself, again, without that stuff, and it really depends what class you play. Some of them don't need to weapon swap, or only if you do like the hardest content, that like the hardcore kinships, the hardcore players, they would be doing that. We still need 2 more crates. Okay, there is a crate. This might be one of the hardest quests I've done, to find 8 crates that are just like lying around. Either that or just felt like it took a lot longer than it actually took me to do that. Oh, and Ivan, you said you wish there was a way to filter items and things you get. You actually can filter. If you press Alt-R in game, you can filter loot. I have a ton of loot filtered on this character already, just things I don't need, mainly legendary items that aren't for my class. So you can filter those and not ever loot them again. There are a lot of useless things that are like take long to destroy, or you can't even sell at a vendor. So you can do that. You can also filter quests. Looks like I have quite a few filtered. Then you can also filter sounds, which I do not have any filtered. Some people opt to filter the Warden screaming sounds. And Dr. Actually, I can't read that. For some reason, the text, it blends in. I think it says Dr. Arn, but you asked if you should imbue your LI even though you don't have all the legacies you want yet. And imbuing the LI will greatly improve it. Just like baseline imbuing it, and you're level 110. I would actually suggest getting a temporary LI, like some random third age or something that you don't really care about, and imbuing it just to get the benefits from it while you still work on your main LI until you get the legacies you want. And then when you actually get the current LI you're working on, when you actually imbue that, you can... What am I doing? Why did I even go out of the town? I actually don't know. I'm doing a very bad job at this questing right now. We're going on a little detour. Okay, I think I have to go around the rocks here, and that will dismount me. So Ivan, that is it's not a really new feature, but it's a relatively new feature. At least hasn't been here for 10 years. And then Tropical Sun, to get to your question about the meme specs, there are not really sure meme specs, but there are some that are like just totally bad and basically not played at all. The closest thing to a meme spec might be the Blue Line Lore Master, because they have a specific skill that summons like 7 pets at once, which is quite powerful, but the pets, Lore Master pets, they have this whole issue where they actually don't scale after level 105, so they're effectively... They still have their abilities and debuffs and stuff, but the actual damage and they do, and I think even their morale maybe, like their health, it's effectively not that good. It's just kind of useless in terms of the damage they do and that stuff. What's this? Is this a warband I got? Skullmire? I think it is. Skulkmire, rather. But yeah, I did that one. Okay, this time I'm actually ready to leave the camp, and I think I'll head to the southeast. But some of the specs are just, I would say, not played at all. One example is Blue Line Captain. That does have a little bit of use, but it's not really played. It doesn't actually do enough useful healing. There is like Blue Line Burglar, that one, it's just not as strong as the Red Line Burglar in terms of damage. It does have some interesting things and useful at low levels maybe. It's also fun to me. Even Yellow Line Hunter, they like have a bunch of crowd control and utility, but you could just go Red Line and kill everything a lot faster. So Healing Captain, that one's a little bit interesting because at high levels you can do decent off healing actually as a DPS spec captain. Even though your focus would mainly be on damage, you want to do quite enough full healing for like full group content or raiding, and with the Blue Line it just wouldn't be strong enough to do that, but you can do a little bit of off healing actually as the DPS spec. So if you wanted to play specifically a healing, like Blue Line spec, healing spec captain, it would be quite hard. You'd basically have to find a group willing to run with that, which might hamper their setup a little bit basically. Because it would still provide some healing and you might be able to change some things around if you don't need that much healing. And you can go with just like 1.5 healers basically. So I need to look for signs of trouble. I think actually I have to go to these beacons later. What is this quest? Perspective from... Actually I have no idea where this quest is. I don't see it on the map anywhere. Oh, now I see it. It's in the town. Yep. Okay. And then I have another quest, Letters of the Enemy, so I need to collect Corsair orders, and I still have one more quest into the woods that's to the southwest of here. So Ivan, I had a video about my favorite... I had a tier list of classes, and I think I've talked about this a few times since that video. The problem when I said tier list with that is I think a lot of people thought of it as like what was actually the best classes at the time in terms of like group content or whatever, or just how strong they were, and it was more of a tier list of how much I enjoyed the classes. But I did make that video, which included the healers. So, Kaisner, you said you've read Blue Captain wears will gear with outgoing healing increase. I think that is something they used to do. As far as I know, that is not that common anymore, but it might be. So I can't say for sure on that one. Because I think might, I don't know that might gives outgoing healing. It gives tactical mastery. What am I doing over here? I need to get up there somehow. Search for the missing workers. How do I get up there? There are enemies up there, so there's a way up there. Alright, we gotta find a way up. And I don't think I can go this way because it just drops off. This is a nice time, by the way. I'm totally distracted with the questing, but it is getting towards sunrise. It is 4 dawn. But nice view here of... I think that's... I don't know what mountain that is, but I thought it had a name. Maybe it doesn't. But nice view of that mountain with a little bit of the sunrise starting to come out. And then Tropical Sun, about some specs so weak the content becomes unclearable. It probably would if you tried to do like a full group of the bad specs at high difficulties, at least like the higher tiers I mentioned. There's tier 1 through 5. If you try to do tier 3, 4, or 5, I think those are the tiers where the difficulty really steps up compared to tier 1 and even tier 2. Then some of the weak specs would probably make it unclearable, especially if you have like a group full of them. Now if you have just one, I mentioned the blue line burglar earlier, you could probably take one blue line burglar in there if you have 2 other strong characters. But sort of another problem is the content is more balanced around the better classes. So even though you can do it, it'll just be difficult with some weaker classes, weaker specs. It's more so balanced, I think, around the idea of having whatever the better classes are at whatever roles at the current patch. At least that is my experience with Endgame, which hasn't been all too much lately, but has been more... I've done more Endgame content like level 130 rating the past few months than I have the past couple years before that. I basically took a break from the regular level cap Endgame when the legendary servers came out, and I did a lot of 50 and briefly 60 because that only lasted like 3 months and there weren't too many raids besides Darn Arbogad. Oh, that my top 3 classes in LOTRO. Yeah, I actually do love killing on a captain. It's just not strong enough for all the stuff that you'd actually want a fully dedicated healer. I still need one more wood bundle, it looks like. Quest is Into the Woods and it's actually making me collect wood. Already interacted with the dead body. There is one more piece of wood. Looks like it's to the west. Good old quest tracker letting me know. But yeah, with that video I talked about the Captain healing and Runekeeper healing. I enjoy both of those classes for their healing compared to Minstrel. And I think Beorning is not that bad. I would just put it behind... I'd put it behind Runekeeper at least. So Runekeeper would be my favorite healer, and then there's either Beorning or Captain after that. Yeah, that's actually the same way I feel about Classic WoW in a way. So you mentioned that game Tropical Sun, and I wasn't too interested in Endgame to begin with Classic WoW. I basically did my leveling because that's what I found fun in that game, so that's what I did and enjoyed it. But then with Endgame, if I even tried to get into it, it has kind of similar issues to LOTRO where some specs just aren't really that good. And one of the things I actually like in that game is the balance Druid, which has its issues. I don't know why I went this way. This looks like these particular trees, at least this one, reminds me of both Lowlands and I think Mists of the Wilderland. They use similar trees there as well. I've been just really slow with the questing here. I feel like Yeah, with LOTRO, the easy content, especially tier 1, it is definitely clearable with the bad specs. So you could even do the newest raid in 6-man instance. I think you could probably do both of those on tier 1 with a bunch of characters that are all the bad specs and all the bad classes at the moment. The only thing I don't know is a Warden tank. They're very rough right now to where I'm not even sure. I was able to do the 6-man as a tank on tier 1. I just don't know about the raid. Of course, I also had like very entry level gear when I tanked the 6-man. But the 6-man on tier 1, you don't even really necessarily need a tank. That is the newest 6-man that came with the mini expansion. The stair battle. So yeah, if you do easier content, so like tier 1, I think you could go by and it is clearable even if you do bring, in LOTRO, if you bring a lot of non-optimal specs and classes. And that's one thing I feel like they've improved upon. It used to be for a long while there that even tier 1 was difficult, but now they've made it so the higher difficulty tiers are actually provide the difficulty, but the lower tiers are a lot easier for basically anybody to be able to run through them. Okay, so what's next with these quests? These very slow quests, which is definitely the fault of my own. It took me so long to even just pick those crates and get around that one area. Oh, I still need to, so I need to defeat Corsairs. Let's do the Mushrooms quest. That is the easiest one to pick off. I think we're headed into a swampy area. There actually aren't that many enemies here. There are turtles, which I can get a quest for. So with the Warden right now, which is the class I'm playing, which is strong for damage and even strong solo, and they have a lot of damage as a tank, but just not that great defenses. So if somebody specialized in Warden tanking and optimally geared, could they tank tier 3 and above? I think it would be difficult. I don't have enough experience with that content and even trying to tank it on a Warden to know for sure. I think one of the problems is kind of as a community, it's not a problem with the community, it's more of a problem because the spec is bad, that if you try to do that, basically nobody would actually try to run that to begin with. Just, it's kind of been a very long time that Warden tanks haven't been viable, and they're a little bit slow sometimes about these type of balance changes. So it's just been a long time thing in LOTRO that Warden tanking hasn't been viable. It's kind of, I think they have said they're working on more broad tanking changes so that, look around for any more mushrooms. Collect the big orange mushroom. There's a big orange mushroom. Apparently my eye caught it, but I have no idea where it actually is. For some reason I feel like I shouldn't pick this one. There are the Corsairs. And then I need to defeat some turtles, it looks like. I need to defeat 10 of them. I wonder if this character could solo the turtle raid now. It would take a long time, but I'm actually curious on that. So somebody mentioned Philical in chat earlier, which is just a big turtle boss. And it's a level 60 Moria raid. Wow, they really knocked me back far. this is the example of the water that I think just doesn't look that good. It's a lot lower quality, just visual quality looking than everything else. With it flowing, it doesn't look that bad, even me stepping in it and the little ripples, but it's just got super blurry, and I think even the skybox itself that it reflects is generic. It's kind of hard to tell in the zone because the sky's clear anyway, which is a nice thing about Gondor that's compared to the rest of the LOTRO. Usually there are clouds and could even be rain, but this is always sunny, it seems like. Oh, so BU asked if I think we'll see better attention paid to the game, particularly with class balancing with the Standing Stone Games buyout. And I hope so, but I'm not too sure. I don't know how much of an impact EG7 will have, and I would guess they'd have more impact on, which I guess could include class balance changes, but more on like broad content maybe, and game systems and that type of stuff. What else was it? In like monetization, more business decisions, they probably, I would guess, at least have some sort of more impact there than on the specifics, but I really don't know. We never got to know how much Daybreak influenced Standing Stone Games, and a lot of people, I think, seem to think Daybreak was responsible for a lot of the monetization decisions, which is possible. And I almost feel like it's been, some people are saying EG7 like being responsible for the recent beta update that everybody didn't like that it was very cash grabby by forcing people to go to the store for acceleration tomes mainly, but I don't know if they actually would have had an impact on that. It looks like my inventory is full again. I feel like it just went to the vendor to sell, but maybe I never actually did. I have some stuff, these things right here are from like level 30s, 40s. I even have stuff from way back 70s. That's not even as way back as the 30s, 40s, but I just have so much old stuff in my inventory I don't need. I really need to go through this character and clean out everything. In fact, I'll go ahead and unlock these at least. Alright, that's all I see right now, but I can destroy. I really should be saving those kind of for my characters if I eventually craft, but I don't care about those that much. I just happened to see this thing. I'm actually surprised I could even gather that, since I thought my crafting was too much out of date on this character. I guess my Forester I can do Weston Knit. And then Tropical Sun, you asked my opinion on the new legendary server with slower progression, and I think that I would guess you're talking about the one with the Eye of Sauron, because we already have the legendary servers with slower progression, and that's actually what I'm on right now. Slower character XP progression, we only get 60% of normal XP. The actual progression of the server though was pretty fast. That was one of the things I didn't like about it, but I can see why they did it at the same time. But for me, at least, I would have enjoyed these servers a lot more if they didn't progress so fast with like raising the level cap, and I know a lot of other people that I play with were the same, especially in kind of the good old era before we got to legendary items, or even with the first set of legendary items. Okay, so got rid of, I had so many notifications, wow.
What news do you bring, traveler?
Okay, let's repair first of all. Okay, I'm going to try to do a pretty big inventory clean out, so this will probably take a moment. Definitely want that Infla Scroll of Delving, that'll be helpful. Okay, that actually cleared out quite a lot. I think it should be good with that. Yeah, so slower content progression, if they have that with the Eye of Sauron server, as they mentioned, where like enemies would get stronger, but when the enemies were stronger, your character would get stronger as well. I wasn't as much of a fan of that idea, but if they had slower progression, content progression, I would probably be more interested in it. The only problem is I'm not quite sure I could do that again, especially because with my kinship here, there are quite a few people that are active, and I enjoy playing with them, which is the only reason I really play on the server right now compared to a regular server with the level 130 stuff. At least I'm enjoying the content, and West Rohan actually even stopped playing here as frequently and did a little bit of group content with them, but that was about it, just because I didn't like the content that was available on here. I feel like the dailies and just group content, we actually have instances we can do with this update, and we can even do scaling raids. I think those, I'm actually not sure, those might be able to provide us with decent gear. And then at 105 we'll have featured instances, which, as broken as those are right now, they'll probably be at least a little bit more useful on this server. Hello, Nathan Philip Connors. No problem for being late. It is late for me, so not sure when exactly I'll get to wrapping this up, but I did finish the second zone, Lamedon. Still don't know what to call that zone. I have a lot of crates to pick up here. Should go faster than the ones in the town. That took me forever. Except I need 4 more, and I only see 3 more over here. There's one right back there. I feel like the water, it's mainly because of the reflection. It reflects the blue sky, but the water also looks way more blue in Gondor, and I like it. In West Gondor, that's the important thing. I've themed like everything with this little mini stream series playthrough to be all like blue and bright like Western Gondor, but then we'll get to Central Gondor, Eastern Gondor, and Old Anorian. Those 3 zones, so 3/4 of the zones will be all dark and red and cloudy and all that. Is there a warband down there, or what was that? I saw it on the mini-map, just a good group of mobs. Oh, Corsairs. I don't think I need Corsairs anymore. I do for a deed, but don't need to do that right now. Oh, I have Hemhawk the warband in Blackroot Vale. I'm in Belfless right now, and I do have 1 turn in at the little camp townish area over here. I think the map, that is, actually need to have all those things. Now I can see better. I can actually see this is a town up here. But yeah, I feel like when they did the legendary servers initially and they had like Angmar, they actually added new difficulty tiers to one of the old raids, the Rift of Ner'zgashuu. And I feel like if they continue to do things like that and added like more tiers to the Angmar instances, the 6-man instances, Helagrad already had 3 difficulty tiers, but if they kept doing things like that later on, I think it would have helped. Also, if they actually added more reward, if you got more rewards from doing tier 3 compared to tier 2 and tier 1, other than just like the fun of the content, actually give people some motivation and drive to run the content, I feel like it would have been a little bit more successful as well. So if they did with new legendary servers in the future and had slower progression with something like that, I think I would be more interested in it. And of course, the nice thing is when they do those updates for the legendary servers, it affects the whole game, so you can have those systems in place for people who want to keep playing on the regular servers. So it's not like all wasted specifically on that server. And then Ivan, he is there promoting the channel membership again. And yes, we actually have 6 members now, Ivan. We have, oh, I forgot their name. I think I still have that open, actually. Joby10240. He became a member yesterday, it looks like. He or she, they become a member. Just the Joe name. made me think he. But anyway, you want me to get 10 members? Getting 10 members would be nice, but first we gotta get to 7 members. That's the important number. So what are we doing here? I was wondering how I only had 1 quest for this area. That's what I feel like a West Rohan thing would have been, to only have 1 quest for this nice giant camp of mobs. This feels like an old Anorian quest where you have to destroy the tower and then the enemy comes down. Not sure exactly that's how it will work. These dots, this is actually something that starts around level 85 pretty big, but damage over time from enemies. They're just very important to take off, which is true. It's true in endgame content and group content that you want to do that, but it's definitely something here in landscape. And what buff is this I have? Increases damage dealt by your next attack by 20%. I think I have done a lot of attacks since then. I'm going to have to use Never Surrender. Oh, I thought I used it. I was a little bit slow there. I guess these archers, they do a lot of damage, it seems like. And I'm still in combat with something. But yeah, I talked a little bit earlier about channel members, and I don't have too much to offer for you two other than if you want to support the content, which I definitely do appreciate. And I do appreciate Ivan you trying to promote that. The main thing I really have to offer is the badges, and your text becomes green, it looks like in the chat. Your name becomes green. And later, I will have early access to videos, especially when I get back to doing guides. I plan to have those a little bit early for members. I have to burn quite a few guard towers. Alright, let's try to not take as much damage this time. Or if I do, I could at least try to out-heal it. Actually, I should be using ambush when that comes up, even though ambush would be decently useful there just to stop some damage for a little bit, but the reason I want to use ambush is because I have to work on that deed that I keep forgetting about. This is why this character's level 97. I haven't done these deeds because I just forget about them. One of them you don't unlock until level like 50 something, and then the other you just have to use ambush 350 times. And Nathan, you asked what my favorite non-meta spec to play is. I would have to say, it used to be Yellow Line Warden, but then that became meta. I would have to say Yellow Line Hunter. I enjoy the traps, I enjoy Lingering Wound, kind of their main skill. And I think it's a fun spec. The only problem is that some of the traps are a little bit weak. I feel like they could be even stronger. Because I almost feel like one of the things about the red line, besides the traps and the crowd control with them, but if I do the same things I do on like a red line hunter, that's what I need to do for damage, instead of focusing more on traps. Even though I guess there is the bleed from Lingering Wound, but yeah, I also feel like that spec could be a little bit more fun if you generated focus a little bit easier. Or if the focus, so one of the things with the old Yellow Line Hunter is Lingering Wound actually generated, it didn't generate focus, but it didn't cost focus either, so it's just something you could use. I do miss that from it. But otherwise, there isn't really an off-meta spec that I thoroughly enjoy. I guess the next closest would be Blue Line Captain. Oh, these guys just had to be ranged. Oh well, they'll go down shortly. Well, apparently they'll already go down. Alright, we need to use Dark Before Dawn, but this guy, he has a good chance of dying before I can get it off. Oh. Adorn chest. That sounds like a scholar item, but I'm not sure. Doesn't look like it. Let's actually use ambush, except he's not on line of sight, so I won't even bother. Pretty sure adorn chest. Yeah, that one's a scholar item. So I still need to burn a lot of towers. Is that the main thing I need to do here? No, I still need to find and confront the captain, it looks like. This isn't a quest item, but it'll give me some loot. Trying to think if there are any other non-meta specs. Yellow-lined minstrel, I like. I like the hybrid type of playstyle that offers. Okay, probably need to, with a camp like this, actually use a little bit better gambits. Another wooden chest. Okay, so I got the captain, but I still need all these watchtower things. Here is one. Oh, Ivan Stainer, you upgraded to a level 7 member. And yes, the level 7 member is new. We actually have level 1 members, level 2 members, and then it jumps all the way to level 7 if you do the $7 one. So thank you for that. I do appreciate it, of course. So that means actually if you are a level 7 member, you get to, if you wish, play with me. Or you can choose what I do. So if you are interested in either of those, you can definitely let me know. I don't know, Ivan, are you in my Discord server? Because that is where I think I would set all of that stuff up, probably. See, actually, I don't know how to hit this archer. So there's still actually, I was going to say there's still 2 lookout towers, but we got one of them. Here's all the towers. There are like 3 in a strip here. Alright, that is fine, Ivan. It's just, these are benefits that I'm supposed to offer. Because that's what YouTube makes you do, really. But I also try to do some things that would actually be nice for people who choose to support me. So basically, you get to play LOTRO with me. Or I think choose what I do in LOTRO once a month. And like what I do in LOTRO during a stream. There are some limitations I would have to say to that, but yes, that's actually just something. There, we got that quest complete. Just something a little bit extra. Okay, so I have to go back. I actually think I'm going to, usually I don't use this. I really underutilize my map home / milestone skill. Oh, so you joined the Discord, Ivan. So you are going to be actually the first channel member, I think, that actually joined. So I made you a channel member. I have a channel member chat on YouTube. Well, I don't think it'll punish me if I don't, unless somebody reports my channel, like an actual member reports my channel for not providing what I offer on it. That's why I don't offer too much, to be honest. Like, I'm not sure anybody that actually joins as a member would actually do that, but I think it's a little bit of a safeguard for people that like join channels as a member and then don't get what they were promised in a way. Okay, so we have 2 quests, one to Ost Montier and then another to Edhelond. I would guess there are going to be some regular quests that eventually lead to Edhelond. Actually, I really don't know what the way that's pronounced. It could be Edelond or it could be Edhelond. We actually pronounce the H, but anyway, I think I will go to the other camp first, and I don't know how much I will do of the next camp, but I at least want to start it. Alright, this is actually one reason I have that blur on the bottom right, not the officer. So for my kin chat, I am an officer. But the blur on the bottom right is mainly for like regular kin chat and just people in the kin keep, especially if they talk about private or personal things in the kin chat, don't want that going about all my YouTube stuff. So Ivan, you are not going to report me. I definitely appreciate that. I really don't know what exactly happens when you report me, but it sounded like that's what can happen. And I don't know... What did I even just say? What was that last sentence? I don't know... Either way, I don't know what happens to me also if I get reported, if it just like takes away my memberships or if it totally kills my channel somehow. Okay, so we're going to Friendly Camp. This is a place with a lot of ugly bushes, and I do not like it. Middle Earth, at least LOTRO's Middle Earth, is filled with some of the ugliest bushes that I've ever seen.
Gondor needs your aid.
Otherwise, it's a beautiful world.
Lands were once peaceful.
I guess they gotta keep something in the game world, to make you appreciate when there are none of those ugly bushes.
Well met.
So we are headed... I get all the quests here already? Seems to be a town of nothing. I didn't really spend long here, which isn't a problem. I don't mind going right back out and doing whatever I'm doing. I do not see anything unusual here. I don't know, that cruel warhound seems a little unusual to me. Oh yeah, channel strike, that's something. I fortunately have not had a channel strike, even though... So there used to be a lot of issues with LOTRO and YouTube back in the day where there would be little bird chirping or just background ambient sounds, and even the music sometimes would be like copyright claimed by companies that seem to do that just to try to get money off of people for random bird chirping type sounds. Even completely silent videos, like a portion that was completely silent, would somehow be copyright striked by these type of places. And it's not been an issue lately, which is a good thing. I've actually had, on the other end, I've had people just like re-upload my videos. I guess my channel's finally popular enough to have that happen. I cannot get I thought I already did my look. Oh well. I'm doing my own look. I get a little bit of a better view down here. There's Dol Amroth and there's Edelon. There's this little mountain. Yeah, the bushes, they copy. So all those bushes, they like copy them and then paste them, it seems like about 1,000 times per little area. Some areas like West Rohan are a lot worse. There are even areas, I think, in Old Anorian where they're really bad. And that they even, in some zones, they actually have, in my opinion, a lot better looking bushes. But this is just like, to me, it's one of the things that bothers me most in LOTRO, because I really do think the landscapes would be a lot more beautiful without these bushes, but That's why I complain about them a lot. They're like the most bothersome thing to me about the world. Another thing that I found kind of bad about YouTube, not YouTube, oh, we didn't even do the looking that I was supposed to do there. Is those little, what are they even called, those? I used to be a part of one. It was like some content platform group type thing. But basically they took a portion of your money and supposedly like promoted your channel and helped it grow, which it might work for some big channels. They might do some like good management thing, be able to get you better ads or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but basically for small channels like mine, they would just take a portion of whatever you got and keep it for themselves. So Kaisner, I never make my characters with beards, so I actually have no idea what that looks like, but it sounds like the long beard on male men is a bad thing, so not sure I missed much. By the sounds of it, if it's actually like the how I think of the bushes, at least. What do I need to do over here? I need to collect mugs of ale. I wonder if I had this quest the whole time and just never did it. I feel like that's been a common occurrence this evening with my questing. Yeah, okay, so you meant race of men, as in male, like race of man. This is one of the things in LOTRO, it's called race of man. So you can kind of have a female man.
What is this world coming to?
What news do you bring, traveler?
Instead of just like being called human like it would be in other games, like WoW. Am I not supposed to kill him? Kinda really wanted to. Oh well. Okay, so what quest do I have here? Half-seas? Wait, half-seas? Is it half-seas as in we're each having a half barrel of the ale? Or is there something actually I have to do with half-seas?
I greet you, friend.
Buffaloes. So this cloak, I need to upgrade my cloak just because it's so like old. It hasn't updated since level 85, so I'm still, essentially my Shield of the Hammerhand is a level 85 cloak, but I just haven't found anything better. Alright, so that quest is done. Okay, so west, I think, first. What am I doing here? Well, apparently that's all I have to do. Aside from a view into the bay, nothing catches my eye. So I guess the warhounds aren't supposed to be suspicious or odd looking. They're just natural creatures of Gondor, I guess. I really don't know what I was supposed to be looking for anyway. That would probably help give some context. I never realized how big Dol Amroth was. Like on the inside, it's a pretty decent sized city, but I always feel like it seemed a lot smaller than it actually is, especially looking at it the outside from here. This isn't a view I had ever that frequently. For some reason, I find, while that's pretty neat, it's just like super cluttered. I don't know, it's like the greatest screenshot type of area, but looking out this way, you get to see a little bit of the bay, the boat, and the mountain. I think that's a nice looking mountain, one of the perhaps better ones, I would say better ones, but there are a lot of, I think, good distant landscapes like that on LOTRO. So it's just looking over at OBS and I'm just checking something with the video real quick. If there is a tiny black bar at the bottom of the video, there might not be. It could just be something looking weird in OBS, but if there's a tiny black bar in the video, hopefully it hasn't been there the whole time and you all could let me know. I assume somebody would have let me know if it was like some big annoyance.
Have you heard the rumors of enemies pressing in from all sides? The soldiers of Gondor have all gone to war, and we are left to fend for ourselves.
Okay, so Corsairs. That quest is done. Yeah, we just need Corsairs. Collect orders and defeat patrol leaders. Sounds like 2 quests in 1 to me. These mobs are really getting up to near level 100. I know we only get 60% of normal XP on this server, and I started a little bit before 95, but it's kind of nice being under-leveled. As powerful as I am, I would technically be slightly stronger, I guess, if I was actually on level for this stuff. Not that level is that impactful to character power in LOTRO. I feel like it used to be. That's one of the things in general with the trends to high level content, leveling in Endgame and all their different systems is I feel like level is less impactful on your character than it used to be. Like, the only thing I feel like level's useful for is significant levels, like 100 where you can imbue your LI. That's a huge step up for your character power. And then getting to like the level cap for a certain thing, certain expansion or whatever content period. So you can... Oh, I guess I need Corsair Spies too. I guess they aren't included with the patrol leader, so never mind, not 2 quests in 1. These are 2 separate quests that don't even see spies in the same area. There's a patrol leader, but he's going to be running away before I can catch up. So I'll get him around this end. Except I lost where they went. I thought they were coming up here. Or are they just going slow? I'm not sure the best way to do this is actually try and follow... Oh, there's a Corsair Spy. I think I actually had a Corsair Spy attack me earlier and I didn't pay enough attention to know that it seems like I actually need them for the quest. This would be another nice time, I guess, to have that type of tracking. Just to have a random Corsair Spy come up and attack me would actually be useful. Seems like there could be one way up here according to the map. I have something following me. It's a cliff stalker. Don't need them. There is a Corsair, it looked like, down there. So B, you are in a blizzard warning. That sounds fun to me. I actually moved up north for school, and it's been... This isn't a place that gets like huge amounts of snow, but I'm in the upper Midwest in the US, northern Great Plains, in the very northern Great Plains in the US. So I was kind of excited for some snow here, but ooh, there's a bunch of... This looks like a fun little AoE group to me. And this should kill them all. And restore my morale in the meantime. But yeah, I know a lot of people probably don't like that type of stuff, but considering a lot of things, especially now for me, are remote, I don't think I want to do the book quests quite yet. I could go ahead and like turn it in and get the next step of the quest, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and return to town. But anyway, for me, at least right now, I'd be pretty excited to be in a blizzard warning. As long as I didn't have to go anywhere. especially like, so where I used to live in Kentucky, we would get snow, but not really big snowstorms. Usually like the most for a year would be 4 inches, roughly. Seems like the past few years just like 2 to 3 inches maybe for the biggest storms, which weren't even that frequent. Maybe a couple to short few times a year. And Ivan, you said you had to go, so I was going to say I hope you enjoyed the stream, but you already answered that, so I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, and I hope you have a good night. It is getting pretty late. It's only 9:30 my time, but that's still for me a little bit late.
Gondor needs your aid. These are troublesome times.
I think I might actually finish. I feel like I should just go ahead and finish this camp. It's like I can't stop in the middle. And I've made a lot of progress, as slow as I have been questing. I feel like I've been questing just like extra slow today. Besides those last 2 quests, those actually went at decent speed. I feel like I always have to do this in Gondor. I don't know why. It's almost like the Iron Hills. They're very different zones. Very, very different zones, but they both feel open and bright to me. They actually both have kind of battle cat type things, I'd call them. They also both have the ugly bushes that I do call them. Like, they have all these things you can filter, the loot, items, quests, sounds. If only you could filter those bushes. I assume the landscapes, some landscapes would look like really bare without them, but I'd have to actually see if it improves or not, but I think it would at least. So it looks like we have quests for Edelon, and I will be getting more from the book quest as a little bit of a spoiler. So heading a little bit north here. So people in Kinchat are talking about trait points and how there are so many. This rock, I don't know how well it translates into the video, but this rock's like the texture on it's extra blurry. Seem to have not made it high resolution. Here it's a little bit better, but this one's just like extra smooth and not high resolution, especially if I look at it compared to the surface. That should be pretty plainly visible, I would guess, on the stream, at least if you have playing it back on whatever quality I output. 1440p, but I doubt that many people watch on 1440p. What is this bridge? Blackroot Vale? Oh yeah, that takes you to the other side of Tarling's Crown. But I got to loop around, I think. This is another part of me slowly questing. It's one of the nice things about LOTRO though. I do not mind slow questing. I keep mentioning it because I just feel like I've been extra slow today, of course, but it actually doesn't bother me that much going slowly in LOTRO. I feel like compared to a game like World of Warcraft, I am more into going about it quickly. That has become less true lately. And even in like Classic WoW, one of the big things of that game is it's so slow. At least for me. I know a lot of people try to like speed through things, which is okay if that's what they want to do, but that was just not for me. And I feel like it's something for me in general lately. The past, it's really windy out right now. I don't know, this is something I kind of forgot about, but if you all hear it a lot, I really don't know if it actually picks up on the mic, but it's really loud for me whenever it's windy. And I don't know what I need to do for quests. This feels like a time where I'm about to like kill the whole camp. And then I find out there's all these other quests I need to do and then have to kill the camp 2 more times until I finally get through the quest. So I will try to not do that and actually look for quest items or whatever I need to do and then look at the map. But of course, especially when we have Seize the Moment, I want to pull a bunch of things and get them killed so then I can spend a few moments looking around. So as many people that follow me would probably know, at least I hope they would know, I'm not too knowledgeable about the Lord of the Rings lore, but one thing I found interesting as somebody who doesn't know basically anything about Gondor, besides that it's mainly a race of man dominant area as far as I know, is that this is actually an elven area. And I don't know how that is or why that is, but I think it's pretty neat. It really reminds me of a place in Near Edduin. I even said some of the trees and just features of Gondor in general remind me of Near Edduin. So I think that's pretty neat. Am I crazy or did I just like kill a bunch of mobs right here? Might have been that dock over there would be my guess. I hope it was at least. Don't remember if I put, doesn't look like I put Ranger's Only Challenge on them. So that should, oh, this guy, he doesn't even have any bleeds on him. Oh, and I got a new quest even. That was like, just that fight went so slowly. Use ambush while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so we need crates and barrels over here, it looks like. I'm guessing the boats, yeah, need barrel of ale. Wait, this is different. This is burning the barrel. That's a different quest. Then we have waterlogged crate, and then there's something totally different, a treasure chest. Apparently, by looking at this treasure chest, by destroying it, I'm not even like collecting it for myself. Why? Why would I even try to destroy the treasure chest when I could just take all the treasure? And Dr. R&D said the respawns here are quick. That is good to know, and honestly, I think it is good for me at least, because it just means I'll have more things to kill as I go about it. Just will slow my quest progress probably, but that's okay. There's a waterlogged barrel, but it is down away from here. But yeah, it looks like they are already respawning, which is definitely quick. They could also have been some moving mobs. Okay, see if there are any quest items before I keep moving on, and there is a relic up there and a wooden chest up here. And Jonathan, you recommended listening to the audiobooks. That is more appealing than reading the books. I do enough reading that I just have no interest in reading after that. So that would actually be a possibility for me. I still need to watch the movies again. I know LOTRO specifically is more oriented towards the books than the movies, but I still need to, and I think it would catch me up a little bit on some things. Some of the more general things I would hope it at least covers. I think I was targeting a relic earlier. I wonder if I actually got that or forgot it. Or maybe I was attacked as I was trying to get it. That seems like a possibility as well. There is a relic behind me, so I'll go ahead and get that one. We'll probably eventually loop back that way anyway. One of the biggest things... Oh, I actually did get a lot of progress on this. I just needed to explore those, not... I thought I needed to like do something in a tower, examine, destroy, or something. As fun and unique as the Warden gameplay is, sometimes it really can feel monotonous when I'm just using range resounding challenge over and over again. There are like so many gambits, but it's like just that one that I need to pull mobs with and get the bleed and the damage over time of it. Then I'm like good to go. Okay, so waterlogged. I still need 2 more waterlogged barrels and 2 more barrels of ale. It is possible. It looks like there is a 3rd dock to the... not the west. I was going to say that's to the west, but that's to the southeast. It looks like my inventory is getting full. As in, it is full and it's overflowing. But fortunately, somehow on LOTRO, I don't even know that this is like something that it doesn't really make much physical sense, but you just getting the loot off the mobs by killing them also doesn't make too much sense. But when your inventory is full, somehow you have an overflow inventory which only lasts for a little bit of time, but you still have it. And it's with your character. But it only lasts an hour. Wow, we've gotten a lot of relics. What is up here? The tallest tower at Edelon once kept watch over the sea. I don't think I ever actually went up here on my Runekeeper. I feel like I would have remembered this. Okay, so I got all the relics. It looks like I need the southern court of Edelon, and then I need to destroy 1 more barrel of ale. And then 2 more waterlogged barrels. There is a waterlogged barrel, so I know of 2 waterlogged barrels, but I'll try to find 2 easier ones. So somebody mentioned the thumping sound that my mic picks up probably when I'm hitting the keyboard. I feel like it's probably a lot worse on the Warden. I don't know why, I was just thinking about that. I guess how loud I'm hitting these keys with the keybinds. Which is something I've been working on the Warden, pretty much completely worked on the past few months really, and gotten it down to where I'm hardly ever clicking anything over there anymore, but yeah, hopefully in the future, when I actually get my mic arm, which might be, so I'm planning on doing a Louis Den stream Saturday. Maybe I could have that set up for that stream. And hopefully that gets rid of the vibrations, because I have the blue snowball mic, which is really big and bulky, so it's kind of hard, it seems like, to find a shock filter for it. Shock filter, is that what it's called? No, it's called pop filter, shock mount, shock absorber. Anyway, whatever it's called for microphones that you put to reduce like vibrations from things like keyboard. Like if I hit my desk lightly, it probably vibrates. I don't want to do it too loud to annoy anybody, but that's just like what it is when I type. It's got like a deeper bass sound, lower pitched. So I still need to explore the southern court. This is somehow the southern court. I'm like, for some reason I'm totally turned around with my directions. I feel like I was talking about this way being west earlier, but this actually feels like north. And then I thought I had to go to the other end to get to the south, but this actually works. It makes the quest done earlier. I have, it looks like, a dying elf here. Yes, I will aid the dying elf.
A shadow is on my spirit.
Yeah, shock mount, that is what it's called. Pop filter and shock mount. So I should have neither of those Saturday, but I will have an arm which might reduce the need, at least for the shock mount. I hope, because it's just, again, I can't actually find one reasonably for the mic I have. At least to me, reasonably. Pop filter I think is something that would be useful. I notice when I do editing of my videos, my non-live stream videos, that I have no idea what he's doing. I guess that's the way a dying elf walks. That my little mouth noises, that's more just like my saliva and spit, is picked up, it seems like. Which I would guess a pop filter would help with that. I need to aid him. Oh, I'm escorting him to the tower. Always try to remember to get thumbnails for, or get screenshots for thumbnails rather. Used to show, so screenshots used to be ordered by like whatever number you took them. And I'd used to always get like in the low thousands, and then I'd reset it and be pretty quick since I used to take tons of screenshots. Well, I still even do to try to get, like, when I do my thumbnails, mainly get specific character screenshots, specific class screenshots, and even for like other things just for backgrounds. It's nice to have kind of action type screenshots, which take a long time to get. I have no idea why I'm looking at these forever. They're all bad. Let's see what I have to destroy. Alright, don't want those. Probably destroyed so many of these. Be worth keeping to at least give to somebody that can use them. Okay, so we have 3 quests ready to turn in, plus 1 book quest. That is a very leaning tree. And not this way, but the other way I need to go. So at B, you are at Adso's camp, which, trying to remember, that is Bree. That is Bree between Buckland and, well, and Bree. It's Bree land between Buckland and Bree, the city. But anyway, I'm ignoring the same name of Bree and Breeland. You said he's dual boxing champion and mini. That's a little bit of a weird combination. I feel like minstrels used to be common to multi-box and lore masters because they have pets and pretty easy with that to multi-box on them. And we totally forgot some quest turn-ins. As in, I totally forgot some quest turn-ins. But yeah, I think that's a little bit of an odd combination. Just because one's melee, one's range tactical, the minstrel could heal the champion, but it just seems like a weird combination to dual box to me. I could see champion and captain making more sense because then you have the buffs and the auto heals from the captain. That was a lot more quest turn-ins than I thought I had. I better make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So the next quest is turn in back at the camp. And that's probably, as I think I mentioned, probably getting close to my wrap-up time. I didn't even mean to intend to go like close to 3 hours. I know that's what I went last time on this character in Gondor, because I think it's been an entertaining zone so far, so I've kept wanting to go. Yeah, so B, it sounds like you agree it is an odd combo. Don't know what else would go with Minstrel besides another Minstrel. Maybe Hunter, just because its range, could do Lightning Runekeeper even for just ranged instant casts, if you're thinking about just like the dealing damage aspect of it. Do not want these boots, they're a downgrade, but I should just go to a vendor. I'll go to a vendor because I think basically everything I've gotten should be sellable. If I have anything in here, I'll filter it. Filter everything else I'll take to sell. And it looks like LOTRO, okay, just had a little bit of a freeze moment. That happens occasionally with this game, fortunately only occasionally for me and not commonly like some other people have. But yeah, just needed to sell real quick and then have plenty of inventory slots.
How may I help you, friend?
So I have 182 gold on this character, and yeah, just like when you have items that sell for 2 to 4 silver, like the little scroll cases, and even armor sells, it adds up after time, but like 20 silver each is just not that significant. That's why I'm so willing to destroy stuff like that sometimes if I really need inventory slots. And even since I am a subscriber, I should be able to get the subscriber town services, but I just have to go like way out of my way and actually remember to get it. It's not even that far out of my way, especially as a warden. I can just port to Bree. Actually, any character can port to Bree if you get the reputation. But I just gotta remember to do it is the problem. So yeah, we're going to Dol Amroth. I think I will finish this book quest. This will get me set for Dol Amroth. I think that'll be a good stopping point. I think at least it'll get me set for Dol Amroth. But as we're getting close to wrapping things up, I think there's a little bit of involvement here if I remember correctly, but just to kind of think about things in the future, tomorrow I probably won't have a video tomorrow, to be honest. I wanted to have a video, but this stream has gone on so long. If the stream actually ended after 2 hours, I probably could have worked on the video. I don't know that I would have right after a stream though. But I was thinking about doing an update 28.3 beta video, because I still think it's important. There's some important things with it, especially considering they made improvements, but it's still a negative. Update 28.3 is like the way it is in beta right now, at least, would still be harmful to players. So it's still like a bad thing, but it's not as bad of a thing as it used to be. And I think the general changes they are making, they should have had other changes already set up and in line for when these new ones happen. Talk to the Master of what? Master of Horses, okay. Thought it said Master of Heroes at first. So like, one of the big things, if they made this update and changed like the Scrolls of Empowerment to max tier, whatever, Scrolls of Empowerment, I feel like they should have already... What am I doing? Okay, apparently I was swimming through that boat. This one I cannot do that. Or maybe I could have gone under. I don't know the way up. For some reason I thought I would have been able to just jump up there, but it appears that is not the case. But with the Scrolls of Empowerment, if they added more Scrolls of Empowerment to the new content at the same time as this update of making the other ones basically not useful for high level characters that have decently but not fully maxed out allies, I think having all of that together in a single update would have made it a lot better, and still could if they do that. But I think one of the big issues that I don't know if they don't see this at all, or if it's just something they don't want to do, is how many... Where is the Swift Horse? Takes you to the Marshes of the Dead. Oh yeah, because that is open now. To the Dead Marsh. I wonder if I should do this now, or if this is something I can probably get back here. Because I think this should... No, this is the Dead Marshes. This isn't the Pass of the Dead.
Hail, stranger! It is good to see a friendly face in this inhospitable land.
Probably don't want to do this now, even if I did. Where is this located? That's actually something I'm curious. Is it? No, that's in Twash. I don't know why I was thinking there. Where is this area? Is it Ampelus there? Or Western Gondor? I don't know if this is supposed to be somewhere... For some reason I used to think this was somewhere specific. I know when you go to the map and then zoom out, it takes you to the whole Gondor one. I don't know why it would be like Far Anorian or Old Anorian, even though I was thinking it could be Far Anorian. Oh well, we will leave that as it is. And hello, MP, you said you've been interested in playing this game. Well, it is free to play, so you can always try it. That's one thing I always recommend with LOTRO, because it is free to play. It's easy to try, and you can get up to about level 30 before you really have to buy anything. Even if you do get level 30, you might get enough of the currency LOTRO points to be able to get the next like zone quest pack to get higher level. You don't have like a set level cap as free to play, but you have access to content basically that would get you to about level 30, a little bit higher if you do like all the little side quests and things. But yeah, we will ignore that for now and just do Dol Amroth in the next stream. For now, I guess I will stay in the cave so I can actually travel to Dol Amroth next time. Or I could do my outro stuff while I start traveling at least to Dol Amroth. So thinking about content going forward, I'm not sure tomorrow. I can try to have that video, but got other stuff that I need to do tomorrow. It could be a late video in the evening, that's always possible. And then we have Saturday, I plan to do a Louis Den stream. Sunday I'll probably do a stream with my kinship, and otherwise on the weekend. I know sometimes I used to have like 2 things on the weekend, but I think otherwise this weekend I will start preparing for my gameplay, annual gameplays. And MP, my favorite class for funness is the Warden, but that will not be a free class. If you're just starting out and going to be free, you have to buy the Warden. So it's also a class I wouldn't recommend for a new player. It's pretty complicated. I think it's fun once you get it down a little bit and are already familiar with the game a bit, but often recommended classes Hunter and Champion. Champion if you're interested in like melee DPS, Hunter if you're interested in range DPS. I personally don't find either of those classes extremely fun, but I find the Hunter more fun than the Champion. If you're interested in tanky, like a more tanky melee class, there's the Guardian. And then there is, I think somebody with a Russian name, unfortunately I totally can't read that, but they asked if I think, what I think they will do for Guardians. And he said, sorry if it's been asked, you just joined. Well, we're getting towards the end of the stream, so I'll try to quickly answer that. I am not sure. I feel like with tanking and LOTRO, there are so many different things that need to be done. So I really don't know. There's also, I feel like if they buff certain aspects of the Guardian, so I'm not too familiar exactly what's wrong with them. I just know captains have like really good cooldowns and a lot more morale, basically, than Guardians and other tanks. So if they just like buff the Guardian cooldowns a little bit and made them have more morale, to me that would be a non-ideal update, because then the Guardian isn't like a unique tank too much. Of course they don't have the fellowship support, that's actually a big thing. Okay, so find the wharf, that's just the city of Dol Amroth quest. We will do that later. And yes, MP, there are dungeons and raids like WoW. Currently, at the current level cap, there's 2 raids and a ton of different instances. And there are a lot while leveling. The only problem with while leveling is it's going to be very hard to get a group to actually do instances while leveling, even though I personally find leveling instances and dungeons to be very fun. There's just not too many people to run them, so that is not too common. You can find like certain groups of players, or if you have a consistent group of players while leveling, but as a solo player just like looking to do something like that, it'll be a bit hard. And as far as Guardian goes, oh, this is Cape of Bethless housing. My kin already has a house there actually, but I'll go ahead and accept that quest. Actually, I could do that quest if I'm interested in getting Airmoth silver pieces, basically. So I'll go ahead and keep it, just have it in my quest log. Then I want to make my milestone here. Oh, this is roving threats, I would guess. This character, don't know if I want to pick all these up yet, but this character has not done the roving threats. My Runekeeper has done the roving threats here in West Gondor. But one more note on the Guardian, as I maybe go to the Forge Master here, is, to me, a Guardian should be like a really defensive tank type thing. At least that's the way it seems from my perspective, not really playing Guardian tanks. So that's what I would hope they would boost, like their defenses to be viable. But I think they just need a larger, complete like tanking rework, so that having either strong cooldowns isn't completely necessary for a class like Warden, and that way Captain with their non-dying like last stand cooldown, they're OP just because of that. And also, the fellowship support from the Captain should be a boost, and it should help them be viable, but it shouldn't like make them extra viable on top of already being like a strong tank even without that. And then also each tank could actually have their specialization, so like the Warden can have self-heals and morale taps and be more BPE, mainly evade based. Champion could be, I really think the Champion could be a heavy parry based tank as a dual wield tank. I know they use two-handers right now, but that would just be like my envisioning if I was making the decisions for them. And then Guardian like the heavy defensive, or a little bit less defensive and more damage in the yellow line like they are now. And then Captain a little bit in between all of that with kind of the support they have now, so like defensive buffs, incoming healing buffs, healing even a little bit on their own. But I do not know that that's what they will do. Again, just some of my ideas here as we wrap this up, which it is time to do. So yeah, I think I updated on the upcoming content. Basically don't know for tomorrow and plan to stream Louisden, another Warden, on Saturday. That's the only problem with doing Warden with West Gondor, or with Gondor in general, and then having Louisden is, it'll be a lot of Warden, but that's okay. So yeah, that's what's coming up. And as far as this stream goes, we did Lamadon, or Lamedon, still not sure on the name with that. We did Calembel, that's where I started, and then finished. Then did some of Havens of Belfast. Also did an epic battle for basically the first hour, so a little bit slow with the questing here. I did pick up at the end. Edelond was a pretty fun camp with a lot of quests and some interesting quests. It's still a really good flow, I think, compared to West Rohan, especially just because that's what we were stuck on with this server for so long. I feel like the flow of the questing is a lot better in Western Gondor, and just the landscape and area. I really like the bright openness of it. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed going through all that with me. I definitely did enjoy it, and if you did, please consider liking or subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content. And